There's more than one way to do this, but here's what we're going to look at.
We're going to have a look at a little bit of a binomial expansion today. Slightly difficult question. It requires lots of steps, but I think we can get through this, not too hard. So to start with, we've got the expression written above and we need to rewrite it. I'm going to split it into two parts. Firstly, I'm going to consider the expression 1 minus 2x to the power of a third. That's obviously the top of this particular expression here. So if we expand that, we get 1, the first term. The question asks us, by the way, to get the first 4 terms up to the x cubed term. And the next part, the next term will be plus 1/3, that's n, times the thing, times the x part, plus a third, times 1 minus a third, no, a third minus 1, so that's minus 2/3, all over 2 factorial, times minus 2x squared. Final one, a third times minus 2/3 times minus 5/3 times minus 2x cubed, and don't forget 3 factorial. We need to simplify each part of that. So 1 minus 2/3 x. Okay, then using a calculator for the next term, I get minus 4/9 x squared. Always check the number of signs. So here there's 2, 3, odd number of signs. Sorry, 2 because that's squared. 3, that gives us an odd number of signs, which means it will be negative overall. Next one gets me minus 40 over 81, I think, x cubed. Okay, that's lovely. I'm going to take this part of the work and shove that out of the way somewhere. Whoops. So that's all good. Let's take that bit and park that up here. Okay, and I'll just delete this workings. So now I'm going to consider the next part, the denominator of this, which is 1 minus 2x to the minus 1. So we can work through and do the same procedure. We get 1 times plus n times the little part there, the x part, plus minus 1 times minus 2, excuse me, times minus 2, all over 2 factorial minus 2x, that's n times n minus 1, plus minus 1 times minus 2 times minus 3 over 3 factorial times minus 2x cubed. Simplifying each of those terms gets me 1, that's nice, 1 is helpful, plus 2x. Now I'm going to add up the number of minuses. We can see that those cancel, so that's plus 4x squared plus 8x cubed. Great. So let's take that and combine it with the answer from the numerator. To combine them, we need to multiply them together, because the black part of this, again, oh, this is getting messy, sorry. I've rewritten this as 1 minus 2x to the power of a third times by 1 minus 2x to the minus 1. Let's just get rid of that because that looks ugly and messy. But that's what I've done, and so now I need to take the two results that I have and multiply them together. So I'm just going to create another screen where I multiply them together. Just bear with me. So yeah, just need to multiply the red section by the blue section. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Working through all of the steps, I do 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 times 4x is 4x squared, 1 times 4x squared is 4x squared, and 1 times 8x is 8x cubed. On to the next, so that's that multiplied by every term. Now I'm going to do minus 2/3 x times every term. I'm just going to write them out here, minus 2/3 x, so that I've got all of the like terms listed under each other. 2/3 x times 2x gives me minus 4/3 x squared, minus 2/3 times 4x squared gives me minus 8/3 x cubed. And I'm not going to do 2/3, I'm not going to do 2/3 x times 8/3x, because that'll give me something to the power of 4, and I only need things to the power of 3. Right, next I need to do that one through. That gives me minus 4/9 x squared, and minus, so that's times by 1 and now times by 2x, gives me minus 8/9 x cubed. Just about the bit in the wrong place. And finally, minus 40/81 x cubed times 1 gives me that. Now it's simply a case of adding up all of the bits. Putting all of these together gives me 1 plus 4/3 x. I'm working out each one of these on the calculator as I go. Plus 20/9 x squared plus 320/81 x cubed. And I think that's the solution. Now the last part, apart from being able to read this, I'm just going to rewrite that so it's legible. 1 plus 4/3 x plus 20/9 x squared plus 320/81 x cubed. Okay, sorry, that wasn't very readable. The last part is to say which values this is valid for. And so we need to know that minus 2x modded has to be less than 1, which we can simplify to give us that x must be less than a half. Mod of x must be less than a half. I think that's everything.